Hello, subscribers. Hello, others. It's David Hoffman, filmmaker. And I make a lot of these videos for YouTube, and my subscribers know that I do these interviews, and I try to do them with people that would be of interest to you. And I have this spot on my face. You don't see it now. Big thing, kind of like aging spot that I can't stand now that I'm a YouTube star. And so I go to my wonderful skin doctor. This guy I've known for 30 years, and that's why I look the way I do at my age, I think. And in the office is his wife. So I look at his wife and I say, man, you got one young wife. So I decide I'm going to interview Arlene because I thought that Arlene could help you. Certainly the women among my subscribers, but the men also. So Arlene, I mean, are you just fortunate to have this kind of skin that you do?
It is nature and nurture. There is some genetics involved in how I look, but the biggest reason my skin looks the way it does is because of what I do. Number one, to protect my skin from environmental damage from the sun, and then to correct any problems along the way that I've developed.
When did you start this? I mean, I don't know how old you are, but I know you're older than you look. And when did you start this?
First of all, I just turned 70, and I know that my skin is not 70. My skin is maybe 40. And there's a reason for it. It didn't just happen. I am trained, first of all, as a physician, and my specialty is preventive medicine, which is all about promoting health and preventing disease. I looked around, was already using products with active ingredients, but I knew that I could do a lot better because the products that I saw had ingredients that did make a difference in the skin, but they were not easy to use. They were not aesthetically formulated. They were not pleasant. And both women and men need both. They need the aesthetics so that they want to use the products, and they need products that really work. And so I became passionate about creating a skincare line that would do this, that would both prevent and correct.
Look, I mean, skin on face is really important. Everybody seems insecure about it. Everybody's always worried about it. Skin ages and looks awful. Do you find that, are you a typical woman and do women feel like you do? If you could describe what it feels like when your skin starts to age emotionally.
The answer is yes. I am just like every other woman. Even though I'm not a sun worshiper, I never was, I still got plenty of sun exposure. I noticed in my 30s that my skin began to look dull. It looked muddy. There were some blotches developing and even some patchy red areas. And it started to look a little bit like crepe paper. And I know that, having been in this field for a couple of decades now, that every woman feels this way. They start noticing, usually they don't see it in their 20s, but when they get into their 30s, this cumulative damage, primarily from the sun, but from other things as well, begin to manifest. You begin to see it, and it doesn't feel good. You remember your skin of your youth, which is usually in your 20s, because in your teens you're struggling with acne. So in in those golden years of your 20s, the skin has a youthful glow. It's luminous. It's actually lustrous. It reflects light. It's smooth. And all of a sudden, it seems overnight, that changes. And people, including myself, don't like it. They don't like it. And most people don't realize that they've had this cumulative sun exposure over many years. The good news is that there is a way to correct these changes and then to prevent future damage.
So you build this line. How did you do that? I mean, you're not a chemist, and there's so much stuff out there. Everybody's got products. All the big guys, Estee Lauder and L'Oreal and all these others, they got these things they all look wonderful. How did you do yours? And is it any different, or is it another version of these wonderful skin creams that everybody sells?
Yes, I'm not a chemist, but I have a lot of experience in product development. And matter of fact, I worked for a company, I was in biotech as well for about 10 years, doing product development transdermal. In other words, looking at how compounds transferred in were absorbed into the skin. I'm not a bench chemist. I'm not a bench formulator. Fortunately, I was able to meet that person who really is a master formulator. And we hit it off and we started talking about this important topic and how products out there, yes, they're out there and there's so much clutter. There are so many products, but we knew we could create easy to understand treatment regimens that, if used consistently, would do what I've been saying, would prevent some of these problems from ever happening. And those that did could correct and make changes in the skin to make the skin healthier looking and to make the skin, frankly, more youthful.
Is all this stuff that you put in these products, is it like anything anybody could get, like all the big guys? Or is this more subtle than it looks, coming up with the things that you found work, at least for you and your customers?
One of the major differences between the big guys and what I've developed is that our products have much higher percentages of these active ingredients. The big guys do it, but they don't do it as effectively as we do it.
Have you personally had connection with women who benefit? Have you heard stories? And if you could give me a story or two, what have you seen in changes using this stuff that you created?
I hear these stories all the time. I hear stories of women who, again, have the fine wrinkling, the crepe paper skin, the dullness, the blotchiness. And after 2-3 weeks of a consistent, and again, it's consistent, because what most women do, frankly, is what I call grazing. You know, there's this product, and they try this, and they see this on an infomercial or in a magazine ad. They don't have a consistent regimen where the products work together. And so I can't even tell you how many testimonials, both through email and letter and in person, because we had a very large medical center and saw 100 patients a day. So many women have seen these results. We have tremendous loyalty to our line because it works. It works. Their products are pleasant to use. They're easily understood in terms of how to use them. And people who use them consistently see these results and they're ecstatic and they never go back. Once they get hooked because they realize the difference.
What if I have like special skin problems? I don't have just aging skin. I got problems. It's looking worse and worse and worse. Alcohol, smoking, stress. Do these things overcome that, or does that need specialists and stuff like that?
People do need to stop smoking. Smoking is really bad for your skin. People do need to reduce their stress. People need to stay out of the sun. Those are behaviors and changes in attitude that Revercel can't do, or my line can't do. But if people are willing to make changes in their lives along with clinical topical skincare, they can see the results and they can have great skin.
Did you do this to make a living, to make a killing, to become famous, or for yourself?
First and foremost, to be honest, I did do it for myself because I didn't like when I looked in the mirror, I didn't like what I saw. And yes, we are aging. We can't escape the fact that we're all aging, but there's a way that we can age differently. And I knew that for myself, I needed to make a change. I needed to change what I was doing. Again, these things that we're talking about, environmental exposures, the sun, needed to reduce my stress. Those all affect the skin, but I needed a different way of using skincare products. and not to do this grazing and not to do, this one product, that product, this brand name, that brand name. I knew that. And so yes, I developed it for myself, and I developed it for our patients who became our customers, our patient customers. And then now we have patients and customers all around the world who are enjoying these products. First and foremost, it was for me, and then it was for our patients, and now it's for everyone.
That's quite beautiful, because I am a documentary filmmaker on YouTube, old man, who really cares about my subscribers. And I hate that women feel so insecure so often about themselves in their relationships because of looks issues. And part of the reasons I chose to do this is because I cared and I thought you could help. So I'm hopeful that this does help. And I suspect you feel similarly.
In my heart, I am first and foremost a physician. I'm a healer. And I've just applied that to the skin, the biggest organ of the body. And it's your outer envelope. It's what people see. It's the first thing they see, especially the skin of your face. And we want skin that is bright and luminous and even. Everybody, we want that because we know that means the skin is healthy and the skin is youthful. And it's not a matter of your age. And that's why, and a lot of people think it's inevitable that these changes take place. It's not. It can be. You can't escape genetics. That's one thing we can't escape. But there's so much that can be done to make these differences and to make people feel better. When people look better, they feel better. They feel better about themselves. They feel more confident, and it changes them in a really positive, wonderful way.
I want to thank you for this, because maybe it'll help you. I hope so, but it also helps all the people watching me. And I wish you luck with your efforts going forward.
I appreciate what you're saying. I do think this resonates with women and men, with your entire audience, because we're all, aging together. And what we want to do is have the most, what I call health span, the longest health span as possible for our bodies and for our skin. It's possible. And I'm here to help people achieve that.